Starting from 1999, where jewelry and other accessories are banned from football, aka soccer for all my fellow Americans, to 2005 when David Stern, former commissioner of the NBA, instills a brief yet drastic dress code amongst the NBA, forcing players to wear business attire and all things related to the league, such as but not limited to press conferences, interviews, photo shoots, etc. All the way to 2011 when FIFA bans players from wearing accessories like the snood, killing off one of the greatest and coldest aesthetics in the beautiful game. Rest in peace to all the on-pitch fashion icons like Balotelli. To 2014 when FIFA bans the ability to wear an undershirt with any messaging on it, resulting in the death of some of the most iconic goal celebrations. All the way to 2018 when Lauren Ingram tells LeBron and KD in the news segment to shut up and dribble when they were discussing their political views in a car podcast. I actually don't remember why they were in a car, but looking back at 2018, we did a lot of car-based content, like car karaoke with that one guy. Anyways, I hear you saying, what does any of this have in common? Well, this, my friend, is a timeline of how we got to where we are today. All these things are times where athletes have been limited and how they can express themselves not just on the court, but off of it too. This leads us to the current day, bringing us to the birth of the tunnel fit. To be able to play a sport at the highest level, whether that be the Premier League or La Liga or the NBA and the NFL or even the Olympics, is an achievement only a very few will ever be able to achieve. However, is it harder than having good taste or style? In the world of sports, every generation has their own fashion icons, whether that be George Best in the 60s, MJ in the 80s, or David Beckham in the late 90s, early 2000s. But in the modern era, with the help of social media, we have a new rise of style icons, all because of the tunnel fit. Now, to those who aren't in tune with the sports world, they might be asking themselves, what the heck is a tunnel fit? Now, the tunnel fit is the outfit an athlete wears as they leave the team bus to the sports arena, the stadium, the training facility, whatsoever. It's one of the very few times an athlete isn't decked out head to toe in team attire, so it offers them a chance to kind of express themselves, you know? So I thought it would be really cool to do a video where we kind of discuss some of the best dressed athletes in the world, with one caveat or rule being that they have to be actively playing. If not, this list would be way too long and way too bloated, but shout out to the boy Jabril Cisse. If you know, you know. But enough with the rambling, let's go ahead and get into today's video. Now, to start off this list, I have someone who has been one of my personal style icons for a very, very long time. The bubble version of this guy, or COVID period of this guy, was absolute peak. And I'm talking about Franklin Jackson. I think he's very underrated within the fashion space. He's definitely getting his flowers now. He's actually walked the runway for Fear of God. And I think his style now is very, very, very Fear of God inspired, and how he kind of dresses with very oversized silhouettes, a lot of grays, a lot of earth tones, things of that sort. One word I would use to describe his style is natural. Nothing is forced. Everything just feels like it flows together. He feels like the type of guy who's very down to earth, and you kind of just see that in his fits. And that's why I love Franklin Jackson. I think he's very underrated, and I think more and more people should definitely look at him and his fits. Next person on this list is going to be my star boy, none other than Kobe Mainu, who I think probably has one of the best, if not the best, styles when it comes to streetwear, only being beat out by one other person who you'll see on this list a bit later on. Some of the fits he's been putting on have inspired me to kind of step up my game, especially in the streetwear world. I love a lot of the silhouettes he goes with this kind of like baggier look. I mean, last year he was featured on GQ's Men of the Year issue, so I mean, you don't get on there for nothing. The man's a fan of Chrome Hearts and Balenciaga, and if you were wondering how long has he been looking like this, he's been fly ever since he was young. I mean, just look at him. You know what I mean? So for me, when it comes to the streetwear space, Kobe Mainu needs to be mentioned more and more because he is just that fly. Next person on the list is the person I think who beats out Kobe when it comes to the streetwear space. That's none other than Shay. I mean, Shea, if you had to describe his style in one word, it would be PTSO, which isn't really a word, but for the sake of this, we're gonna say it is. He put that on. Okay, simple as that. Mr. Put that shit on. By far, when it comes to the idea of the tunnel fit, he's the king of it. He's honestly the person who's probably elevated the idea of the tunnel fit to the length that it is now. He has an incredible sense of color mixing and pattern theory. I mean, he has combos of items that you would think to yourself that would never work, but for him, he just makes it work. He makes it his own unique thing. And I want you guys to remember something when it comes to us discussing these NBA players. Shea is 6'6", okay? Now, it's easier for me at 5'10", 5'11" with shoes on to get up in the morning and get myself dressed with my items, okay? You get a 32 length pair of jeans, you call it a day. You start hitting 6'1", 6'2", it's a little bit harder, right? You might start looking at 34s, 36s. At 6'6", do you know how hard it is to not only find items that work for you or to get them tailored to work for you, but your proportions are odd, especially basketball players who a lot of times have longer legs, shorter torsos. It's not a very standard silhouette, but Shea makes it look like I could just roll this stuff on. It's that unique and he does it that well, and you have to rate it. And I think he's able to do this because he just loves a good oversized fit. He just wears it all the time, no matter the occasion. He just wears a ton of oversized stuff. So Shea has to be the king of streetwear. He beats out the boy Kobe Manu, but it's for good reasons. He do be doing his thing. So Shea's the next person on this list. Deservingly so. While staying in the NBA, the next person on this list is going to be Jeremiah Grant. Editor Jevon here. I don't know why I said Jeremiah. His name is Jeremy. It's literally pronounced like Jeremy. I don't know why in this video I said Jeremiah. There's going to be a clip further down where I'm also going to say Jeremy or Jeremiah, however I said it in there. Just ignore it, okay? It's Jeremy. Ugh. Who is known for not having a stylist, which is a common thing for a lot of athletes. They have people, teams, groups who are helping them curate their look, curating their Instagram, curating whatever it is. And Jeremiah Grant is known for not having any of that. He just throws on what he likes. And for that, he gets bonus points, okay? Because he's doing it to a high level. Sometimes when I look at his fits, they honestly remind me of me, okay? And I'm not saying that to, gas myself up or nothing. He just has really, really good taste. And I tend to look at it and go, dang, I would put that on. Like, it's that nice. And just like I said earlier, the NBA players are tall. So, like, when you look at some of their fits and you see this, I mean, like, you have to respect how they're able to take their proportions and make it work for them. Because it would be very easy for them to look like other NBA players, but they don't. And if we're being honest, he probably has one of the best hat games in the whole league. I'm talking beanies. I saw him wearing a sombrero the other day. I mean, the dude has incredible taste, so of course he has to make the list as well. Speaking of taller athletes, the next person on this list is going to be Miles Chamley-Watson. Now, the best way to describe his style is I will phrase it like this. Miles stands at 6'4", and relative to the average height of fencers, they are normally around 5'11", 6 foot. So not only does he kind of stand out on the stage of other fencers, but he also stands out off of it as well. Miles' style has a very unique blend of formal and streetwear, and one of the key aspects of his style is it's very, very colorful. And just like Jeremiah, he has a very unique and nice hat game, some of the best I've seen out there. I mean, I saw him in what looked like a Nike beret. Incredible. How do I get my hands on one of those? And like I said, he has a very nice blend of formal and streetwear and somehow makes that all work to him. Very much a one of one when it comes to the fashion world. So moving on to the next. Now, if Shea is the king of tunnel fits when it comes to the NBA, Jules Koundé is the king of tunnel fits when it comes to the world of football. If I had only one word to describe his style, I would say it's French. Now, I don't say that in some like weird way. I say that in the sense that he's not afraid to wear whatever he likes, and he does not care what you say about it. And while doing that, he looks incredible. He has some of the best layering I've seen within any athlete. Legitimately, he looks like he just walked off of a Jacques Mousse show. Like, A lot of those silhouettes and a lot of those outfits are very much what you'll see within Jules Koundé's style. Very colorful as well. I saw him in a full pink, what looks like velour suit the other day. Incredible. And he's not afraid to blend some unique patterns and materials that you otherwise wouldn't think go together, but somehow for him, it just works. And he also experiments a ton with different proportions and things like that. He's by far one of the best dressed soccer players in the world, hands down. Speaking of soccer players, the next two people on the list played the beautiful game, and that's going to be Brennan Johnson and Matthäus Jorgensen. Hoping I'm saying his name correctly. Brennan and Matthäus's style are very similar in my opinion, very simple, very clean. Elevated streetwear is the best way I would say it. A lot of times they tend to wear earth tones and things like that. Not very brand heavy at all, and almost kind of give you a Scandinavian vibe with how they dress a lot of the times. It's just very simple, very clean, which is something that you have to rate highly because it's something that not a lot of athletes do. You'll be surprised by it. So when people are able to take the simple, clean look and elevate it a little bit and make it their own, hey, you got to give them props. So Brennan Johnson, Matthäus Jorgensen also are going to make this list. Great style. Next person on this list is going to be an absolute GOAT. I'm talking about Lewis Hamilton, who isn't just a GOAT when it comes to the F1 scene and what he's done, but also a GOAT for what he's done for fellow black designers when it comes to the fashion space as well. Let us not forget that he bought a whole table at the Met to invite young black designers to sit there and be exposed. So for that alone, you got to put him on the list for the things he's doing within the fashion space. But on top of that, he also just has incredible style. It reminds me a lot of Miles from who we discussed earlier, and just how colorful it is. And the boy Lewis loves a good oversized fit. I'm talking in all proportions, a little bit of a wide leg pant with an oversized button up or things like that. He loves a sleeveless top or just no shirt at all. You see that in a lot of his fits. It's almost like he just came off a yacht in Monaco. Like, that's what it feels like a lot of times with his fits. Very colorful, very fun. So I love his style as well. So not only is he dominating on the grid for Ferrari now, he's also killing it off the grid too. Now, on to some honorable mentions. I feel like I had to get an NFL player in there, which, let me tell you, the NFL, step up the game, man. There's not a lot of people who are putting that stuff on, but there is one, and that's gonna be Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor really is Mr. Put That On when it comes to the NFL. He is by far the best dressed athlete in that league. Second, I had Caleb Williams, but only for one outfit, and that's gonna be the teddy bear trench coat outfit, I call it. But I actually think it's fire. I really, really do like that outfit, so he made it on the list as well. And then I asked you guys over on IG, who would you guys recommend for some of the best dressed athletes? And someone whose name got brought up a ton, and I didn't know who it was. I had to look him up. But shout out to Valencia. It's going to be Stol Dimitrevsky. I'm hoping I pronounced that right, but shout out to Valencia. He has a very simple, clean shot. It is kind of similar to Matthäus and Brennan Johnson in a way, at how like it's very Scandinavian inspired, but very clean, very simple. So shout out to Stoll as well. That's gonna be all the honorable mentions. Please let me know in the comments below if there's someone that I've missed. Maybe I should do a whole list, but for female athletes as well, if you guys want to see something like that. But yeah, let me know in the comments below who I missed, what you guys want to see next. But that's gonna be it for today. Make sure you guys follow my IG and TikTok if you want to be involved in more conversations similar to this one. It's gonna be BLVCK hoodie with 3 E's. But that's gonna be it for me. Adios, amigos.